Good day, everyone. And I'm now cleaning the throne of the Christ the King. So this is the tabernacle, which date back somewhere in time. So now we are preparing for our feast, the Solemnity of Christ the King, and also the patrons of the Mission Sui Juris, Punaputi. So, beloved friends, happy Fiesta Day of Christ the King. And here, now let's be honest. When we think of the King, we imagine something grand, a palace, a throne, sparkling crown, soldiers, trumpets, etc., etc. Now, our King, as we celebrate his feast, is a king on a cross between two thieves, with no crown except a painful one made of thorns. If you told an average Tuvaluan kid, this is our king, he might look at you and say, "Oh, poor thing. No throne?" But that's exactly the point. Jesus is the king who turns every human expectations upside down. He is the king who refuses to show off. The people shouted at him, "If you are the king, save yourself." Basically, come on, Jesus, prove it. Do something amazing. Shock us. It's the ancient version of, "Lord, give me a miracle right now and make it quick." But Jesus does not perform a magic trick. He stays on the cross because he is thinking not about himself, but you and me. Punaputi, the whole world. He is the king who says, "I'm staying right here until every last sinner has hope." That is our king. No drama, no ego, no self-promotion. He doesn't save himself because he is too busy saving others. One of the thief complains, and otherwise quickly. No one side, the bad thief complains, insults, demands favor. He wants a king to act like a superhero. On the other side, a thief who suddenly becomes the smartest theologian on the mountain. Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom. This is the shortest, simplest, most powerful prayer ever. If that thief were Tuvaluan, he would say, "Lord, remember me, please." And Jesus gives him the fastest visa approval in history. "Today, you will be with me in paradise." Instant approval. No forms, no immigration office, no biometrics. Even the Americans don't approve this fast. The king whose throne is a cross, not a palace. Let's face it. If Jesus wanted a royal chair, he could have chosen a golden throne. If he wanted a magnificent palace, he could have chosen Rome. But Jesus chose a cross instead of a throne, a crown of thorns instead of gold, a hill called Calvary instead of a palace, fishermen instead of princes, two thieves instead of royal guards. Why? Because His kingdom is not built on power, but on love, not on fear, but on friendship, not on territory, but on hearts. He is the king who never forces, he invites. He never pushes, he pulls with mercy. He never commands, he calls gently. Christ the King and our place here in Punaputi. Now let's bring it home. Our patron, Christ the King, does not reign from White House or Buckingham Palace. He reigns from our humble chapel here in Tione. And this is his throne, in a small mission house. He reigns in the hearts of children singing during catechism. In the joy, his reign in the joy of his tiny Catholic community in the middle of Pacific Ocean. Some people look at the Missio Sui Juris of Funafuti and say, only few Catholics? A tiny island? A small chapel? But God looks and says, perfect. A small kingdom with big hearts. Christ the King does not need large crowds. He chooses small places. Nazareth, Bethlehem, Funafuti, because he likes to start small but love big. And let's be real. If Christ is truly King of the universe, He is also King of our tithes, our water tank, our power outages, our projects here, and the fun moment of island life. He is King here because He is King everywhere. So what does this mean for us? Three simple things. Let Him rule your heart. Not like a dictator, but like a friend who knows what makes you happy. Don't be like the complaining thief. God can do more with one humble remember me than with 1,000 demands. Third, build His kingdom even in small ways, like this. In Funafuti, even a small act, teaching a child, sharing food, repairing mission house or the chapel, praying together, becomes royal service for the King. Today, we celebrate the King who reigns with mercy, rules with humility, saves with love, and smiles when His people smile. Christ is King, not because He sits on a throne, but because He hangs on the cross and still says, today you will be with me in paradise. My dear friends, happy Feast Day of Christ the King, the great King who loves this small island and the world, so much so that he made it part of his eternal kingdom. Long live Christ the King. Amen. Beloved friends, here, if somebody wants to donate a better tabernacle, well, just tell me. It's very small. This is from way back when?